This is an information and training webinar from the Department of Education and the Health and Safety Authority for the lead worker representative in schools. Thank you for agreeing to be a lead worker representative. You have an important role to play in supporting school management to prevent the introduction and spread of COVID-19 in your school. By working closely and collaboratively with your school, you are making the school a safer place for everyone. This training program will help you understand your role as a lead worker representative. Your school and colleagues will support you in this role. So what is in this training program? What is the role and function of a lead worker representative? What is the role of the lead worker representative in schools? What supports are available to lead worker representatives in schools? Towards the end of this webinar, you'll have the opportunity to watch a lead worker representative training module developed specifically by the Health and Safety Authority for all workplaces. It should take about 20 minutes to watch. Why do schools need a lead worker representative? The Return to Work Safely protocol provides for a lead worker representative in each workplace. The protocol for appointment of lead worker representatives in schools was agreed between the department and education partners. The lead worker representatives provide critical support to school management or the ETB for the implementation of the COVID-19 response plan. They help implement control measures. Staff will come to the lead worker representative with their concerns and observations on the COVID-19 plan and control measures. The lead worker representative will then engage with school management. What will the lead worker representative do in schools? Full details of the process for appointment, duties and how to resolve conflicts is found in Appendix 3 of the School COVID-19 Response Plan. Read Appendix 3 carefully before you take up this role. In conjunction with school management, the lead worker representative will represent all staff. Other staff cohorts may have specific concerns. It's important to be aware of these. Keep up to date with COVID-19 public health advice. Work collaboratively for the good of all staff. Promote good hygiene, hand washing and using sanitizer, good respiratory etiquette, and maintaining social distancing in line with HPSE advice for schools. Assist with implementing measures to suppress the virus in the school. Monitor compliance to virus prevention measures. Conduct regular safety measure reviews. Report any issues of concern immediately. Keep records of such issues and actions taken to rectify them. Know what to do in a suspected case of COVID-19 in school, including the location of an isolation area and a safe route to that area. Following an incident, work with the school management on any follow-up action required. Consult with colleagues on COVID-19 matters, and make representations to school management on behalf of your colleagues on COVID-19 matters in schools. What supports will the lead worker representative get? As lead worker representative, you will get information on your role, training through this online webinar, and release time from your work to undertake this important role. Detailed information on the supports is found in Appendix 3 of the School COVID-19 Response Plan. You'll be consulted by school management on the COVID-19 control measures being put in place. You'll be in regular communication with school management on COVID-19 related issues, and you'll be informed of changes of practice arising from COVID-19 response measures. And depending on the size of the school, a second lead worker representative, either a deputy lead worker representative or an assistant lead worker representative, may be appointed. This is a lead worker representative training module developed specifically by the Health and Safety Authority for all workplaces. It should take about 20 minutes to watch. Please stay tuned for the remainder of this video to complete the training module.
This lead worker representative course has been prepared by the Health and Safety Authority. As part of reopening Ireland for business, the government has published a Return to Work Safely protocol. This is the key document your employer must follow to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in your workplace. One of the requirements of the protocol is that at least one lead worker representative must be appointed to work with their employer to ensure the protocol is adhered to in the workplace. This is an important role in helping to prevent the spread of COVID-19 or coronavirus. The impact of COVID-19 has been difficult for workers and workplaces. However, working together, employers and lead worker representatives can make sure measures are in place and adhered to help keep everyone safe and prevent the spread of COVID-19. The lead worker representative course takes approximately 20 minutes to complete, and there are 5 topics. These topics are highlighted on your screen. When you complete your lead worker representative course, you should be able to outline the role of a lead worker representative, outline the necessary requirements to fulfill the role, demonstrate the 3 key measures for preventing the spread of COVID-19, recognise the signs and common symptoms of COVID-19, and identify with the Return to Work Safely protocol and the HSA COVID-19 templates and checklists. Topic 1. The role of lead worker representative. Under the Return to Work Safely protocol, each workplace must appoint at least one lead worker representative. The number of representatives appointed depends on the number of workers in your workplace. If you are a lead worker representative, you will have the role of helping your employer and COVID response team to put COVID-19 measures in place in order to help prevent the spread of the virus. You will also help to ensure that your co-workers are adhering to these measures, and you will communicate regularly with your employer. As the appointed representative, you will help to provide information and advice on COVID-19 to your co-workers and check to ensure that necessary measures are in place. To help with these checks, see the HSA checklist number 2 on control measures to prevent infection. This can be found on the HSA's website. A lead worker representative will keep a record of non-compliance with COVID-19 control measures and will bring any issues to the attention of their employer. Remember, if you are a lead worker representative, your role is to help employers to put in place controls to help prevent the spread of the virus in the workplace. If your co-workers have any concerns about COVID-19, they can bring these to your attention and you can raise them with your employer. A lead worker representative will also help the COVID response team if someone does present with symptoms. They will help to follow isolation procedures in place to ensure everyone's safety. If you are the appointed lead worker representative or worker representative, your employer will provide you with the necessary information to carry out your role. You will require training for the role, including a COVID-19 induction. This will help you understand your role better and what is required of you. Your employer will consult with you about the COVID-19 measures in place or being put in place, and will keep you informed about changes to emergency plans or first aid. They will also agree a system for addressing workers' concerns and will maintain regular communication with you. To help you to prepare for the role of lead worker representative, you should be familiar with the Return to Work Safely protocol. You will find this on the Health and Safety Authority's COVID-19 webpage, hsa.ie/COVID-19. You should also attend any training provided by your employer, including your COVID-19 induction. Other sources of information to help you to prepare for the role include the HSA Lead Worker Representative poster and HSA Checklist number 7 for worker representatives. These are part of a series of COVID-19 checklists and templates produced by the HSA. Checklist number 7 will help you understand the role of a worker representative in the workplace. Know how to prevent the virus from spreading and the necessary cleaning and disinfection requirements. You should also keep yourself up to date with public health recommendations, including information on the signs and common symptoms of COVID-19. These can be found on the Health Service Executive's webpage, hse.ie/coronavirus. Topic 2. Employer and Worker Responsibilities. The Return to Work Safely protocol will help employers and workers get back to work safely. The protocol outlines the measures to be put in place to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the workplace. Make sure you complete a COVID-19 pre-return to work form 3 days before you go back to work and give this to your employer. The form is to confirm that you do not have COVID-19 symptoms, are not self-isolating, are not waiting on results of a COVID-19 test, and you have not been in contact with someone who has the virus. Tell your employer if there are any other circumstances relating to COVID-19 not included on the form which may need to be disclosed to allow your safe return to work. Have a look at HSA templates, checklists and posters, in particular checklist number 6 for workers and the one mentioned earlier, checklist number 7 for worker representatives. The HSA poster on the role of lead worker representative will also help you to understand your role better. The HSE has specific information for persons at very high risk, also called extremely vulnerable, and those at high risk from coronavirus. Speak to your employer about any concerns you may have if you are in one of these categories. Continue to follow measures in place for preventing the spread of the virus and follow the most up-to-date public health advice and information on the HSE's website. Topic 3. Preventing the spread of COVID-19. You will be working with your employer and the COVID-19 response team to ensure COVID-19 measures are being adhered to in your workplace. All workers, including you, must be aware of the 3 key measures for preventing the spread of the virus. These are good hand hygiene, good respiratory hygiene, and physical distancing.
Wet hands with water and apply enough soap to cover all surfaces of the hands. Let the water run smoothly to avoid touching the tap later on. Rub hands palm to palm to obtain a good quantity of foam, then rub right palm over the back of left hand with interlaced fingers, and vice versa. Rub again palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Rub the back of your fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked, repeating this action for each hand. Rub rotationally left thumb clasped in right palm, and vice versa. To clean the tips of the fingers, rub rotationally backwards and forwards with clasped fingers of right hand in left palm, and vice versa. Rinse hands thoroughly with running water. Dry hands thoroughly with a single-use towel. If the tap is not elbow operated, use this towel to turn off the tap without touching it directly. Your hands are now clean and safe.
Keeping 2 meters apart from other people will help to protect you. However, some work will require closer physical contact, and your employer will need to have a number of additional safety measures in place. These measures may include the installation of screens or the provision of suitable PPE. Cleaning and disinfection is an important measure for preventing the spread of COVID-19 and must be carried out regularly and properly in your workplace. Your employer will have additional cleaning and disinfection measures in place, and you should know what these are. HSA checklist number 5 will help your employer with these additional measures. Other sources of information and advice on cleaning and waste disposal include the Health Protection Surveillance Centre, National Standards Authority of Ireland, and your relevant local authority. The European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control has also published guidance on environmental cleaning in healthcare and non-healthcare settings during the COVID-19 pandemic. While this guidance is aimed at public health authorities, it is useful to know that it is available. Topic 4. Signs and symptoms. If someone reports symptoms of COVID-19 in your workplace, it is important to follow the procedures in place, including isolation procedures. You may have to help the manager or the COVID response team to manage the person in line with training received. The affected person should be assisted in contacting their GP and a family member if required. They should also be provided with a suitable face covering to wear. It is important to remain vigilant. If signs and symptoms are picked up early, fewer people become infected and intervention can begin quickly. Here is a short video from the HSE on COVID-19 symptoms and what to do if you think you have them.
COVID-19 or coronavirus is here, so it's important to have the correct information at hand, like knowing the symptoms: a high temperature, a cough, shortness of breath or breathing difficulties. If you have symptoms, self-isolate to protect others and phone your GP. Visit hse.ie for updated factual information and advice, or give us a call. Protection from coronavirus. It's in our hands.
The main symptoms of COVID-19 are a cough. This can be any kind of cough, including a dry one, shortness of breath or breathing difficulties, and a fever where a temperature of 38 degrees Celsius or above is present. A fourth common symptom is a loss or change to your sense of smell or taste. If you experience any of these symptoms, stay at home, self-isolate and contact your GP promptly. Stay out of work until all symptoms have cleared following self-isolation. Visit hse.ie for the latest information on signs and symptoms of COVID-19. There's lots of information and advice on COVID-19 for employers and workers returning to work. As mentioned earlier, you must complete a pre-return to work form and give this to your employer. Your employer will give you information specific to your workplace, including COVID-19 measures in place. Have a look at the HSA COVID-19 webpage and view the range of resources available, in particular the Lead Worker Representative poster and checklist number 7. This information will help you to prepare for returning to work. Looking after yourself physically and mentally is very important. Try to get your news from trustworthy and reliable sources, and consider limiting your screen time. Keep to a routine if you can. Take exercise and stay connected with family and friends. These measures can make a difference to your health and well-being. See the HSA podcast on managing stress and potential stressors when returning to work under COVID-19. This can also be found on the HSA COVID-19 webpage.
Thank you for taking part in this training. We hope you find this useful on your return to school. Further information is available at www.gov.ie/back to school.